Hello everyone, this is Amara Amjad and I chose to focus for my project on Palo Verde Magnet High School. This is the school I'm currently working at. And this school community is very close to my heart because I have seen firsthand how dedicated the staff and students are. I wanted to take a deeper look into the things and I wanted to, you know, just present the both educational priorities and a broader ecological influence. So I'll go ahead and start my presentation. This is the layout of my book that I've been working on. It's not really fancy, but I tried my best because I did uh, have a lot of data. These are the table of content. I have chapter 1, 2, and 3. This is chapter 4 and then chapter 5. For chapter 4, I have a separate link here where we can click and it will take you to chapter 4. Data resource and findings. These are the findings from these are the places actually from where I collected my data. I did some interviews. I did some of my own research. I actually did go to the Arizona Department of Education. Uh, 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 I used their demographic data for Palo Verde High School. This is the section 1, where a summary of the themes. This is the environmental features. Palo Verde High School is actually really uniquely designed. It actually reflects the needs of both students and the Tucson environment. The campus features drought-tolerant landscaping and native Palo Verde trees, which align with our commitment to sustainability in the Sonoran Desert. And what stand out is our STEM focus, especially classroom for cybersecurity, engineering, and the art that support project-based learning and innovation. The school actually has right now CTE, which is Career and Technical Education a hub, which helps students explore real-world pathways while still in high school. Let's move to it. I just want to check if I am. No, sorry. I was just checking if I'm still on. If I'm on mute, I'm sorry about that. I'll go ahead and move to the next one, which is environment features. This is actually the building, how it looks like. This is actually the corridors, um, the courtyard we have. This is the school campus from outside, and this is actually the map. We have football fields, basketball field, and it's pretty big campus. It has like 3 floors. So next is why actually these environment matters. They matters because, as I said, drought tolerant planting, native trees, reduce water usage, and the purpose of those STEM labs and CTE spaces is to provide real world experiences and community integration. We do have a family resource center which fosters the inclusion by connecting families with resources and events, and also with well-being and belongings. It is a safe, shaded. We do have safe, shaded courtyards and collaborative areas to promote student comfort and community cohesion. Next is actually demographics, which is the population of the students is 676. It talks about the teacher ratio. It talks about the gender distribution. It talks about the socioeconomic indicators and economically disadvantages, because 65 to 66% of students qualify based on free reduced lunch metrics. So the right here we have like, the ethnic composition, that how many different racial and ethnic groups we have as a student. And this is also the neighborhood demographic, which is pretty interesting, because 38% of the medium neighborhood age is, it just gives you everything. Like 5% have their own houses, and then under 38% are actually under 10. So there are like young kids in the community. And population growth, the community has grown bigger and bigger from 1990 to 2000 and 2020, and then the population is going to go up by 2030. And 62% have their are rent, and 38% are Hispanic. These are the governance and policies. This is the community partnership. The community partnership is actually is really interesting with the school, because they offer workshops, grief support, financial literacy classes, and family engagement events. They also actually collaborate with Tucson Medical Center, Ben's Bell Project. We have CTE internship, dual enrollment, and parent, also community events. We host parent-teacher nights, magnet programs, showcases, student exhibition, bilingual communication tools to ensure the accessibility for Spanish-speaking families. And why it matters, of course, to build trust, access to resources, shared responsibility, and cultural values. Local partnership. These are the local partnerships we have here with Palo Verde Magnet High School to actually provide support not just to the school community, but actually to the families as well. Then how does this collective data inform you? This is one of the reflection questions here. My references, and these are my data resource and finding. I think we're going to chapter 2. The equity in the resource access is actually, it is the differences in how resources are distributed across the classroom. It does have a real impact on student learning and experiences. During the walkthrough, it was clear that magnet classrooms like those for engineering and art had more updated technology and materials than the other schools and the other classrooms in the school. So I did interview some teachers, some TAs, and I did come to find out that how it was like a not a big problem, but still there was like the quality of instruction was different in some classroom than the others. And it's here the school climate and student belongings. It is actually, this is what we have on walls and everywhere on the school campus, that Titans are focused and Titans are accountable and Titans are respectful. It is actually a PBS poster which actually help reinforce school-wide expectations and values while display the student artwork and achievement, to contribute to a positive and welcoming environment. Family community engagement, as I said, we do host a lot of things, and one of the most favorite, my personal, is every year before school year starts, the Family Community Resource Center comes together and host like an event, evening event where parents, they come and they can get free bags, free clothing, and free school supplies. And on top of that, we actually do bring them with snacks or coffee, or we do arrange those stalls where we do provide them with free snacks too. And then students support capacity. This is where students are working and meeting in counseling in offices, highlighting the supportive environment provided by the counseling team at Palo Verde Magnet High School. Next is cross-departmental collaboration. Because I am going to be an EXA teacher, I did get a chance to work with some EXA grade EXIT teachers and general education teacher. It actually talks about what are the some challenges they have, why there's a gap between between families and teachers, between EXIT teachers and special education teachers. What they all agree that they lack a little bit of communication and interdisciplinary collaboration. They all were in favor to support that, and I did get a chance to interview Assistant Principal Damon Lovato. He recognized the issue and said the school is working on restructuring the PLCs to create more intentional opportunities for shared planning. So this is something where I actually kind of agree, because I have seen the gap, and I feel that we need to provide teachers with more time to plan and sit down and have those conversations where they are comfortable and they are respectful to each other's boundaries, and provide more student-centered environment. These are these are my references. And chapter 3, where I talked about pretty much the culture. My personal favorite is culture responsive school climate. I did talk about my themes were equity in academic support, teacher collaboration, and professional development, co-teaching, inclusive practices, and technology integration. So this is pretty much it. Teachers' perspective. I did their interviews. I put my teachers' interviews here, the key insight from that, and then the demographics, school climate, cultural events, and inclusive classrooms. This is the teacher's collaboration and personal development. Co-teaching and inclusive practices is very important. And technology integration, it is actually, I just want to mention real quick that technology supports inclusion by providing multiple ways for students to access content and show what they know, aligning with universal design for learning. This is something the school is very much focused on right now with UDL. Teachers are training and they're spending more time learning more UDL to start using that with the students to support them in inclusion programs and benefit from co-teaching. We are more co-teacher. We do have on campus more co-teachers now. And we do have our leadership department chair who is very hands-on, and he helps all the new co-teachers and teachers in inclusion programs with whatever training or questions they have to boost their confidence and help them with student engagement and participation. Then this is it. Okay, this is my prompt. Let me go back. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is actually where I should be presenting. This is my actually prompt 1. So prompt 1 was educators as connectors across context. In my data analysis, after doing all the interviews, I felt that there was a disconnect between the families and the schools, especially when it comes to student understanding and their needs. Understanding student needs and assessing support services. There has been a lack of support staff, which is one of the biggest problem in special education. And just because of that, there was a ratio where students were not getting enough support and inclusion programs, which was a really big issue, but some great teachers, they came together with planning, with talking to parents, and focusing on meeting with parents and see what are the areas students they do need support, and talk to the department chair. And we're able to get some support from the district, which actually, and they also emphasize that communication gap often delays the important intervention. So this was something which was brought to my attention. And they said educators can be a proactive role in bridging these gaps. And they can also, one of the general education teachers suggested when teachers understand students' home life, they can connect learning in a many meaningful way. Building trust through consistent and culturally responsive interaction helps align school, home, and communities. So the prompt two was expanding the role of educators in community school collaboration. This is one of the environmental factors affecting students in Palo Verde Magnet High School is economic instability. Assistant Principal Damon Lovato shared that many students experience housing insecurity, lack of access to basic necessities, which significantly impact their ability to engage academically. Also, some other teachers, they actually mentioned that students, they felt they're being left out, they do not have enough support, and they do not have enough access to the community resources, which actually, this insight actually reflect the broader theme discussed by Epstein in 1995, who he emphasized that the importance of strong school, family, community partnership in addressing barriers and student success. According to Hensley 2005, empowering family and communities requires proactive engagement, which is very important. And these approaches demonstrate how teachers can serve as culturally responsive leaders who foster resilience and equity in school communities. Epstein 1995 and Hensley 2005. Now, this is we had to identify our professional development goal. My personal professional development goal is first one is I reflect on my goal and I set myself for I have set for myself the values and the shape of how I can shape my teaching and the strategies I plan to use. And I actually am very strongly focused on that. I'm going to be using culturally responsive teaching style, which is going to help me build relationship not just in my classroom, but actually with my school and my community. The first one is implement multilingual communication tools, which I feel at least I do student teaching next term, and I plan to use talking points or bilingual newsletters. I'll collaborate with Spanish and Arabic teachers on campus, and I'll come up with planning where we can make sure that parents are constantly being in touch and being informed about the events happening, because I feel there are sometimes they are not being informed. They are not in communication with teachers as much as the other parents are, and this is something is very important. I have mentioned my connection too. Now, integrate student culture background into curriculum, which is very important. Show them I plan to come up with the ideas where I can pick movies or show who actually have presented or have shown like the culture backgrounds, and so the students, they become more sensitive, and we become more self-aware about how we speak, how we judge, or what are the biases, known biases. So, and then facilitate a peer collaboration initiative, which is a school domain. I will organize once a monthly peer collaboration session with fellow educators to share culturally responsive strategies to co-plan lesson using student demographic data, which is actually because I'll be in special ed and I plan on doing it when I start my student teaching. Then number 4 is is to host a multicultural family night, which is my favorite, and we have done that in the past, but it has happened only once. But I would love to keep doing that and invite parents, and I would initiate with the community, the school community as well. And number 5 is use restorative practices to build relationship, which is throughout the school year, I will implement weekly restorative circles in my classroom, advocate for school-wide adoption by presenting outcomes and strategies during at least one school staff meeting. Now, my core values is, of course, inclusivity, which is because I come from English as my second language, and my culture is different than many people I work with and students I have went to school with. So of course, and then empathy and collaboration is one of the biggest thing, because these are the very strong foundation to make a student-centered environment, and engaging in goal related activities. I believe that each student and family contributes a unique perspective, strength to the school community, and recognizing these differences is very important, and that foster trust and build meaningful relationship. My values will guide me to communicate respectfully across culture and different people who speaking different languages, and understanding their diverse viewpoints, and remain open to feedback and continuous growth. It will actually motivate me to engage more authentically whether I'm connecting with families, collaborating with colleagues, or even like in the classroom environment. Students will feel seen, heard, and feel supported. And to build strong relationship across classroom, school, and community domain, I will keep a proactive and culturally responsive approach. In the classroom, I will create inclusive learning spaces and integrating student lived experiences into the curriculum and foster students' voice. And as supported by Health 1982, this is the in-text citation. Also, I will also engage families with multilingual communication and accessible school events, and model a school-family community partnership that rely on two-way communication and shared decision-making. By building relationship rooted in mutual respect, trust, culture, responsiveness, I aim to support holistic development of all students. And this is the actionable strategy for the influences. What will I will do? Use multilingual communication tool is the first one, talking points, class Doho, and to remind to send consistent accessible updates in families and in their home languages, which is very important. Maintain a weekly classroom newsletter, create open communication among staff during staff meetings or any after school, before school meetings, PLCs, any trainings, and then incorporate personalized family check-ins, which is where I will have a time or a day or what method of communication they prefer, and is how I will show those families that they have me for support. Use student work as a communication tool, which is bulletin boards and websites and digital portfolios where students project. Reflecting family and culture identity are regularly shared, and they will know that we appreciate the students and we are supporting them, and they get to see their work too and provide support. These were my references for my chapter 5. And this is it. Thank you so much, guys, and I wish everybody best of luck. Thank you.